My name is Carsten, and welcome to the presentation on the use of tDCS on the stimulation of ADS individuals. The use of transcranial direct current stimulation, tDCS, on the stimulation of individuals with autism spectrum disorder, ADS, is a method of non-invasive and painless brain stimulation that involves direct electrical current applied to the scalp of a very low intensity, aiming to modulate neural activity. It has been said to increase cognitive ability, and in particular cases, within nonverbal children, it has allowed their language rate to increase. Critically reviewing the literature surrounding the use of tDCS will give insight into the pros and cons of this neurological stimulation method, with focus on the use of tDCS in autism and the increase of their language rate and behavioral ability. Individuals with partial verbal autism generally display levels of dysfunction, examples being syntax below their level of maturity and the inability to develop a vocabulary consistent with age. In a study conducted by Harry Schneider and Jenny Hopp in 2011, the pair hypothesized that the use of the tDCS in a cohort of 10 children with minimal verbal capacity autism would increase their score on a revised version of the bilingual aphasia test. The two set out to figure if the use of the tDCS had positive effects on autism and the individual's ability to create sentences. Schneider and Hopp discovered that with tDCS, the individuals score higher post-tDCS than pre, proving the initial hypotheses. Yet with this in mind, comparisons between nonverbal and minimally verbal individuals cannot be made, due to the fact that having any vocabulary is a much different scenario than having none. The use of tDCS was found not to be able to be used with nonverbal individuals due for the reason of low vocabulary. So Hupfield and Ketchum created a different way of assessing individuals without the use of spoken language. The pair designed a range of simple tasks to be completed prior and post tDCS, and the two were timed. The results from the study were found not to have the desired results, as the research paper stated that children did not cooperate to the task as desired. The pair had to adopt a new way of measuring post-TDC and review behavioral changes in observation and following demands. With tDCS improving neural pathways, it is seen to be useful in the stimulation and manipulation of behavioral issues. A study conducted by Giordano D'Uso, Dario Bruzzi, and Roberto Ferrecci in 2014 focused on the use of brain stimulation to help with behavioral compliance within ASD individuals. This study focused on the positive change in behavior compliance with autistic subjects. Researchers based their results on the direct observation of subjects. It was found that 8 out of 10 subjects showed substantial improvements in their abnormal behaviors, with a 26.7% increase in the ABC, aberrant behavioral checklist. tDCS and its neurostimulation abilities not only within a behavioral setting, but also in social cognition, that being the ability for an individual to store and apply information about other people and social situations. Generally, ASD individuals have difficulties in these situations. Researchers Peter Donaldson, Melissa Kirovsky, Nicole Reinhardt, and Peter Endicott decided to divide their attention into the understanding of how the use of tDCS would change an individual's ability to demonstrate ability socially. The study they developed took a direction of using RME, reading the mind in the eyes task, to devise an assessment of individuals in social situations, to discover if the individual is hateful, jealous, arrogant, or panicked based on their eye region alone. Participants were asked to complete a handedness test to decipher whether left or right-handed, due to the fact that only right-handed participants were able to complete the research. The process taken on from the following initial test were 2 assessments where were completed, those being Autism Spectrum Quotient, DAQ, and the Social Responsiveness Scale, SRS-2. Pre- and post-tDCS, the results from the assessment showed individuals had an increase in both assessments post-tDCS. In conclusion, tDCS in the improvements of all-round function of individuals with ASD has seen to have positive improvements. The ability for ASD individuals to increase their ability in all areas of language acquisition, behavioural compliance, and social cognition demonstrates the ability of tDCS in the transformation of individuals. That brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for listening.